Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features a first look at the work in progress Tier 6 Russian premium battleship Novorossijsk. The Novorossijsk is based on a modernized version of the Italian battleship Giulio Cesare, which was given to the USSR as reparations after the end of the Second World War. In Novorossijsk in World of Warships, the main battery consists of 10 320mm guns in 2 twin-mounted and 2 triple-mounted gun turrets. These guns are described for standing out for their good rate of fire and accuracy. The Novorossijsk comes with decent armour, which we'll take a closer look at in a moment, but with a relatively low amount of hit points, and has the distinctive Soviet fast damage control team consumable. So that's just a very quick description of the Novorossijsk. So let's take a more in-depth look by starting with the consumables, upgrades and captain skills. Starting with the consumables, you can see the signature fast damage control team of the Russian battleships, repair party, high explosive shells for the main battery, and armor piercing. It's Tier 6, we get 4 upgrade slots. I'm using main armaments, damage control, aiming systems, and steering gears mod 1. Pretty basic battleship captain build. I'm using preventive maintenance, grease the gears, adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, emergency repair expert for the extra heal, and the extra charge of damage control party. Using concealment expert, and finally fire prevention expert. Moving to the survivability, as already stated, the Novorossijsk gets a limited amount of hit points, only 44,500, and a pretty strong torpedo protection, damage reduction of 30%. So, moving to the armor layout, we can see here the immediate weakness identified here is 16mm of frontal fore-end plating and deck plating. Now this is pretty weak. It is strengthened to a degree by a fore-end armor belt of 110mm, 2 sections. This section here underneath the turret is 130mm. The stern, however, is pretty well armoured. 26mm of upper aft end plating and deck plating, and a very strong aft end armour belt of 130mm. And here 2 sections of 110mm and 85. So all round very strong protection at the stern. You look at the belt armour, 220mm. The upper casemate, including a lot of the lower deck here, is 130. The deck itself is 43mm, 2 levels. This is 43 and the upper is 43. And here this section of deck is 26mm, as is this auxiliary room armor plating. We come down and looking at the main belt armor, submerged 250mm and 210mm. If we look at the internal armor, we can see again at the bow its major weakness. The upper Battleship is only 13 millimeters, and here even down to 6 millimeters. So highly advise against bow tanking in this Novorossijsk. 13 and 6. The Battleship is 130 millimeters, and you can see there is sloped armor here. It does add additional protection when taking shells. When angled, this angled armor does help quite a bit. The difference here at the stern, again, the Battleship is 130 millimeters and 110. So you want to be guaranteed, you want to be stern tanking if at all possible in this ship. So I can imagine a playstyle kiting away from the enemy will make this armor profile feel very strong indeed, whereas approaching the enemy will be a major weakness. Moving to the main battery, Novorossijsk gets 2 twin-mounted 320mm guns, 1 fore and 1 aft, joined by 2 triple-mounted 1 fore and 1 aft. These have a 28-second reload. They can rotate 180 degrees in 30 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 181 meters, with a max firing range of 17.5 kilometers. Both high explosive and armor piercing rounds have the exact same shell speed of 830 meters per second. High explosive shells can inflict a max damage of 4,800 with a 35% fire chance, and they can penetrate 55 millimeters of armor. And the armor piercing rounds on piercing the enemy citadel can inflict a max damage of 9,700. Moving to the secondary battery, starting with 4 twin-mounted 100mm guns. These have a 5-second reload, firing high explosive shells. They have a max damage of 1400. They can pen 17mm of armor and have a 6% chance of setting the target on fire. Max range of 5.2 kilometers with a shell speed of 800 meters per second. An additional 6 twin-mounted 120mm guns. These have a slightly slower reload time of 6 seconds. They can inflict a max damage of 1700, again firing high explosive shells. They can pen 20mm of armor with a 7% fire chance. Again, same max range of 5.2 kilometers and a very fast shell speed of 950 meters per second. Moving to the AA defense, Novorossijsk gets 6 single-mounted 37mm guns. Added to this, you get 6 twin-mounted 37mm guns, and finally 4 twin-mounted 100mm. These are the secondary battery that double up as AA mounts. All combined, they pump out a continuous average damage 129, the majority of which is medium range. Only fires 1 flak explosion with a max damage of 1050 and a max firing range of 4.6 kilometers. Maneuverability wise, the Novorossijsk gets a base speed 27.8 knots. This can be increased with the Sierra Mike signal flag to just under 30 knots, 29.2 knots. Turning circle radius of 660 meters, rudder shift time of 10.3 seconds. Finally, the ship's concealment rating of 54, which equates to a surface detection range by enemy ships at 12.8 kilometers and by enemy aircraft at 7.3 kilometers. So I hope you enjoyed this first look at the brand new Tier 6 Russian premium battleship, the Novorossijsk. This is the Russian port of Novorossijsk, so it felt quite suitable. Now I must again stress that the Novorossijsk is in testing and is subject to change throughout the testing process. If you have any questions, feel free to come on over and ask me on Twitch. I stream regularly during the week. You can see the link here on screen, and I look forward to seeing you all. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.